How are we doing, second channelers? Progress is good. I've got another section like built up. Chris Bibby's just pulling up, I can hear him. So we've got to put some concrete down the sides to form the walls. So let me just come up and get out of the way from him to go meet him. This video is sponsored by Onshape. Now, it kind of doesn't feel like a sponsor because it's a CAD program basically. And obviously, you know, we all use CAD programs for drawing stuff. And there's a really cool feature on this, which I can actually project things using AR onto stuff. So I'll be able to show you like what the car's going to look like in the room and all that sort of stuff. So keep your eye out for that, it's worth watching. They're doing that. Right, Chris Bibby's here. I need to go and take my shorts off a minute, put some trousers on and go and sort him out. And then we'll just, you know, progress is good. So we got Chris Bibby here, and you all know Chris Bibby's name, but Chris, check it out. I've got a great new name. Rather than ABC, it should be ABBC. I mean, come on. It's bloody brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. Look at this, look. Chris Bibby turns around and says, the Shoot Might League, we've got a new one coming next week. It's got a chuffing great crack in it. I think we can fix that for Chris Bibby, can't we? So, even that's better, Chris. That's it. I've got hold of it. It's whether it's got me. Go on, let me. Yeah, go on. It's not heavy. Go on. You got it? Do you think this will be reflected in my concrete invoice? Look at this one, Chris Bibby. I reckon if you had that done somewhere else, that'd cost you about 2 cubic metres of concrete. Right, here we go. No, we're not far off the level with that, to be fair. I'll just wait a minute then. Yeah. It's nearly up to level. Right, go on, fire out a bit more, Chris Bibby, baby. Not much more, though. Not much more. Here it comes. This is a big hole. Okay, so we've dug a load more out. It's really strange actually. Initially it was going way better and way quicker than the previous one, but the last bit was difficult for some reason. I don't know if it's because the hole that we dug last was actually a little bit bigger than what I wanted it to be, well, what I needed it to be for that section. And then with this one, we've kind of only took a tiny bit out, which is probably why it seemed to be going a little bit quicker. But because it's a smaller hole, Tom has trouble like leaning over and getting to the corners because he can't see what he's doing anyway. Whereas if you dig a bigger hole, you sort of don't need to worry about the corners nearly. You can leave them and then just deal with them in the next dig sort of thing. But we didn't do that because I didn't want to come too far this way, because if I come too far, I struggle to cover it over in a safe manner that's not going to be a bit precarious, because obviously you don't want this collapsing and you falling down here, because that's not going to do anybody any good. Right. It's been a hard couple of days. I'm a little bit knackered, if I'm honest with you. I can start to visualise what this room's going to be like now, because it's tiny. So while I admire my excellent tidying up job, let's have a look at this CAD program, Onshape, and see what this DeLorean's going to look like in this room. Onshape is a professional CAD and PDM system used by businesses to design their hardware. Now, if you are a professional engineer, there's a link in the description where you can sign up for a 6-month trial of Onshape Professional for your company. But why Onshape? Well, since Onshape is cloud-based, all the heavy lifting is done by their cloud services, so you can run professional CAD programs, even simulations, on any device. A Mac, a PC, an old laptop, even a phone, and it will still never crash. And this is very unique in the CAD and engineering world. Now, everything you make in Onshape is saved in the cloud, and this is another one of its unique features, is collaboration. Because it is a cloud-based system, multiple users can access and edit a project all at the same time. It's a bit like Google Docs, but for CAD. No other CAD program does this. So if you're working in a big team and you're all working on something, you don't have to wait for other people to do stuff, sign it off, send it off. You can all see it happening in real time. Boom! Now, I've been using it to plan the underground garage, but any project, large or small, Onshape is useful. Years ago, when I used to make the pulse jet engines, obviously big or small, I used to have to make the cones. Now, I would be drawing them out with compasses or using massive bits of string, so for some of the big radiuses. But of course with Onshape, you can do it better. You can go online, go onto a cone calculator, find the dimensions, put that into Onshape, draw it, and then you can print it out on a piece of paper. Of course, if it's massive, it'll be on multiple pieces of paper. Stick it all together, and then you've got yourself a nice template, which you cut round with a grinder. Oh, that would have been so much easier. Now, one feature which really excited me is augmented reality. Open up your project in Onshape, select AR view, and then you can project your model or your drawing onto what you see using your phone's camera. So the bit where the DeLorean's going, I've not dug that bit out yet, but I can kind of project the car on it, have a look round, see what it's going to look like, get a bit of a vibe for it, and of course this could be used for other things. The beams coming down, when I do the car lift, where all that's going to fit in, how it's all going to fit in, that is super useful. So if you're a professional engineer, use the link on the screen and in the description, and you can get Onshape for 6 months for free. And if you're a student or a hobbyist, use the link for that, and there is also a free plan for you guys as well. Right, I got some rock to chimble away. Okay, today's job. Chimble off the bit of house foundation that sticks out, because that gets in the way. Cut all the rebar which holds back the kingspan, which holds back the concrete, take all the kingspan out, get ready, clean it all up, clean all the rebar up, because we need to get more rebar connected onto that rebar, clean the floor, ready for more rebar, ready for more concrete, and also we've got a wonderful Newark steel delivery coming again today. Oh, the cycle continues. We go like that. Oh look, there's a slug. There's a slug. I've got to get that. Why, Mr. Oh my God, what a mess you've made. Oh, this is gonna be, I've got to film this. There he is. There's Mr. Slug. And look, he's been all the way up there. Nearly into my blooming bedroom window, look. Sneaky. Sneaky. Got my chimbler. I should probably have some tubs under here, shouldn't I? Well, let's pause. I'll have that on, can't I? I've got a right. The copyrights. We need more tubs, boy. Colin, you scooped a load of it and never filmed it. Well, no, I didn't. We've got to time that together. Shield with stand. When this stuff up's like, oh, I'm seeing Tom dig it with a digger. This just feels like stupidly hard work now. And to think we did 20 odd metres plus, all by hand. But good fun though. But when you have to do it like that, you can't do the digger. It flicks a little switch in the brain that just says, Colin, this is acceptable. Don't worry about it. So I didn't worry about it. Okay, let's get the foundations scraped out and stuff. I was kind of thinking as I was doing it, obviously it would always be a worry digging underneath your house foundations whether there's going to be any collapse. And I was thinking my whole house at this point is just stuck on soft clay. So the fact that it's going to have a nice bit of concrete shoved up against it, I think it's nice. Should hold it up. Right, got to do this bit now. Come down here. Yes. All this kingspan was held back with these intersplicing bits of rebar. These bits are the bits that go through the actual concrete. If I come to the side, you can see where the wall of them are. But these cross members, they're just tack welded onto the things. We just get the grinder, slit them off, cut them in, and the whole lot should just snap and hopefully unfold, and then we can scrape out all the kingspan and reveal, hopefully, a lovely wall of concrete. Up there, all the way up there. Right, let's get that sorted. You guys are going to have to come out of the way, I'm afraid. If you're wondering why the leaf blower's got this on it, I did an invention show this week. It was for kids, and I did the old toilet roll on the end of the leaf blower trick. Completely covered the whole audience. It was lovely. Only problem with the old Kingspan, it does make a little sellotape, whatever you want to call this stuff. It does make a blooming mess. The rebar is all cleaned up, ready to weld onto. You may have noticed I've made the executive decision to do away with this bloody plastic membrane under here because I just think it's not worth bothering with. The tunnel never had it, the bunker never had it, that part of the room never had it. This rock is drier than anything and drains better than anything, so why put a bit of plastic there to capture moisture? And Tom makes a mess of it and it's just a pain. So I'm not going to bother. Whether that will prove to be the right decision or not, we'll see. Now, there's a few things we need to do better next time. Some of these bits of concrete, it's like it's not been vibrated properly, but I think what happens is when I get the vibrator really close to the Kingspan here, it all starts dribbling out of the little gaps. So you can see where the little, you can see that, little tiny little bits where it kind of pops through. So I tend to not go too crazy with it here because obviously all the water comes out and it brings out all the cement powder or whatever you want to call it, and then that's no good. But of course we get these little bits here. I'll just find a focus. That we don't really want to see that. Now this was done in like 3 separate bits of Kingspan, but over here where it was one solid bit, as you can see, that's perfect. Nice and smooth, very little air bubbles, brilliant. So we need to do it more like this and less like that. Right, next job, focus Colin. Bring some rebar down, sun's coming out now, isn't it? Let's come over here. Bring some rebar down, lay it on the floor, attach it, weld it to all these bits of rebar sticking out here, then build the frame out over the top of it, then lift it up and kind of temporarily fix it to that frame with little tabs and stuff, which of course I break off afterwards, because remember, the rebar around the outside of the room is not supposed to touch anything, so we can hold it in position, but once the concrete's set, we then have to cut them off so it remains electrically neutral to anything else. I'm not going to put the sheets on top of the frame after that, because as well as the roof getting tomlammed, these sheets are getting sort of tomlammed as well. There's a few little dents. You probably can't pick it up on this, but it's been bashed a little bit, and they don't need to be on there. It can just be concrete, and then once the whole thing's finished, then I can put the floor down, and then they'll be a lot better, and they won't get absolutely covered in mud and stuff like this. Anyway, that's enough of my hand, which apparently, one of the previous videos looked like an old man's hand. But I don't know whether it was just the lighting, I don't know. I mean, I've got quite veiny hands, but you know, I don't know. Look all right on this. Let me, I'm on my other camera at the minute, so it's got manual focus, and I don't think my hand's perfectly. Anyway, I digress. Let's get some blooming rebar down. But look, oh, the size of this place is absolutely fantastic. It's getting so much bigger.
It's a bit quick, I'm not.
That's our Barrett doer delivery.
See you later, alligator!
Okay, some of you with a keen eye will have noticed when I was talking about on-shape and projecting the DeLorean on here that this bit of floor's been done. Concrete's down, the rebar's in, it's all set. I'm not putting the steel over the top of it because, as we know, Tom Lamb just damages it when he comes to dig because he can't see what I'm doing. That's not a knock on Tom Lamb, he's doing a lovely job, apart from the roof. Anyway, I've welded this original piece, or the existing bit of floor, all the way along this seam because it's going to rain tomorrow quite heavily and it still does drip in a little bit, and when it drips in it sort of puddles up on this existing bit and then it kind of goes a little bit rusty, and then I don't want it creeping underneath. So I've welded all that up and I've got some paint. So now I'm just going to paint this bottom bit and up here. I'm not doing this top bit because that still needs like box section and stuff welded on it, but I'm not going to do that till the very end, till I know where the whole car lift and floor system's going to be. So, do this bottom bit, but I need to clean it up a bit first, look. It's a bit mucky. What a mess. It's weird, although this looks like a right dusty mess, I don't know how much of this is rust and how much is just dust which has come from the digging. It's a mixture of both, I think. Oh, I'm going to have some black bogies tonight, ain't I? Now, I would normally say this is definitely a job for a roller, but I can't find any. Even though in my mind's eye I've got loads somewhere, but I can't place my hand on them. But do have a brush. So brush wins today. I'm sure we've all been there. Because we can just pour it on the floor. And luckily enough with this, I don't have to worry about painting myself into a corner of the room, because I can jump over this no matter what. Oh, get in there, boy, get in there. If you're wondering why I'm painting the walls here, this bit's under the floor, so I won't see it. So it can be painted. Beautiful. This is one of those jobs that does make the room feel a bit more complete. Because it's like, I mean, it won't stay obviously nice and black like this, it'll get covered in dust and all sorts, but at least it makes it look neat for a little while. You know what I'm like with my neatness? Beautiful. I think I may have put a bit too much down there. So then, what are Colin's second channel videos like? Well, it's like watching paint dry, literally. Now, this next section, or this current section, is taking longer than I wanted it to. I'm going to Germany tomorrow, to like a German version of Maker Central, I suppose. So obviously that's 2 days gone. And then me and Tom have been doing this little extra video. Because, you know, you've got to get away from this at times, haven't you? You're working on it 24/7, it drives you nuts. So I've been doing that, and we've been doing that up at Tom's farm, because my barn has still got a wall of death slapped in the middle of it. So, and I'm not taking that down yet, because I'm going to try and get some pro mountain bikers to see if they can ride round and stick to the side. I had a go years ago on a bike, on the original wall of death. But electric bikes weren't a thing then. You couldn't pedal fast enough, or certainly not stable enough to stick to it. But I don't think that's going to be a problem now. So I've got that to do at some point. But until I do, until I've done that, the wall of death's got to stay up. It's in the way. I've definitely put way too much paint down here. Oh, Colin. Rookie mistake. It looks all right on the camera, maybe. Don't anybody watch this on a massive screen in your lounge. Just watch this on your phone, this will look fine. Look at it. I'm resorting to just using the brush now. And I know what you're saying, I can hear you all typing. If you'd have just gone and got the roller, Colin, or gone and bought another one, you could have spread that out a lot easier than kind of picking it up with a brush. I can hear it, don't worry, I'm aware of my mistake. But you know, I had fun spreading it around. It's all good. Right, painted it. Glad I did that. You can see we've got a load more rain, a bit more rust. Might actually paint this top rim here and possibly do a little bit more of that bar. I didn't do it originally because it's got to be welded, and obviously you don't want to paint something you then got to weld. But of course, if it's going to keep going rusty like this, maybe I should. But on the flip side of it, once I've got the roof above it again, it won't do it. Just can't decide. I'll leave it for the time being. Right, today's little job, today or the next task. How are we doing for brightness? All right. There's a little bit of rock, you probably can't see it on the camera here, that just veers out slightly, just where Tom couldn't quite reach. Just wants a bit chimbling off, because our wall's got to be a minimum of 300 mil. Now, most of the time, they're way bigger than that, because this is like 450, 400, so that's all good. But this bit, there's just a little bit of rock, which just cheats in a bit. In fact, if I film down here, look, get your shadow out of the way, Colin. You can see there, it just skims up there. It's only this bit here, well, it's just that bottom bit basically, because it kind of falls away on itself and then you back up to like thickness. So I just need to just trim that up. Now, part of me thinks, is this even worth worrying about? Because I'm essentially chimbling rock away to replace it with something nearly as solid as what I'm chimbling away. But, you know, yes, it is worth doing. Right, let's do that. Don't know if you can see that. That's got rid of that. It was only a tiny bit, but I feel better for it. Right, next up, it's going to be a lot easier to put this damp proofing in before I put all the rebar up. So I'm going to put a bit across there and a bit across there. Yabba dabba doo! This is so much easier to do it when there's no rebar in the way. Getting the processes sorted. By the time I've finished this thing, I'll have it nailed. Right, you, very nice. Come down here, we need some way of sticking you up in there, ideally. I think, looking by what's happened there, the concrete's heavy enough to like push it right up, but still. This is kind of helping. I've overlapped it, by the way. This bit runs about, well, as far as I could get it, so about 2 foot, 600 mil. You sit round there like that. Turn you off now. To hold this, to stop this doing this, basically, I've got some long screws, washers on the end, and this is just stuff that up in there, push that down there, and then just literally, there you go, in there. It's not great, obviously, and it's not going to stop it doing it loads, but it's enough when the concrete goes down, this top bit, just to hold it back in position and stop it coming away. Oh, that's it. Right, your camera might wobble a minute, Mr. Second Channel people, because I'm going to, because you're attached to the ladder. Yes, yes. Right. What's that? Colin's got a new tool? Yes, he has. Got a rebar cutter, ain't I? This little bad boy, look. Pincer thing. Comes out. Saves you grinding, chucking sparks all over the general public when they walk past, and making a lot of noise. I'd say that's a win. Only thing is, ordered it off eBay. Never read the description, did I? Blooming 110 volt. So I've got a lump around, a transformer with me all the time. That I'm not happy about. I remember these when plumbing. Absolute pain, weigh a ton, cable's really short. Ugh. but they are. It's my fault, should have read the description. Emily, come on, we've all done it, haven't we? So, right. Right, that's got that mesh up. I've not quite finished welding it up because I've only gone and blooming ran out of welding gas, so I've got to go to Peterborough and sort that out. And it's Thursday morning right now, so I'm not going to have time to finish that off before this video gets uploaded. So, just to put in perspective where we're actually at with this project, that's obviously up there. I need to do that side. This next dig will be like a bigger one because it's where the car comes out basically. If you look up there at the house, let me just tilt that, the car lift will come sort of down just to the side of the window there. It's gone all dark now, isn't it? To come up, but obviously it can't come any further across because it will take my porch off. So this bit here, because you saw everything's opposite, that is like, oh my God, what are you doing, Colin? That bit there is partly where the car lift will be, but the majority of it, of course, is where I haven't actually dug out yet. So the next dig will be a bigger one because it will go right to the boundary of the house basically. So take it right across right there. So kind of the last dig really. And then we've got the hole opening. There'll be a little bit, tiny little bit extra. We just have to tuck under, which is nice. This bit here, I'm just waiting for the structural engineer to let me wants to do. You see that beam there? We think with the car opening, because you've got a massive hole in the roof, obviously all the weight and all the forces that the house put on it, I don't think will be much, but he's stressing about it. That needs a bit more reinforcement, so there's probably going to be 2 of those going across there, and this is the reason why I want to do it all in one go, because obviously I want them dead straight. When you do it in little bits like I've been doing here, there is the opportunity for it to like kind of wander and sort of get out of straightness. Although I've done a brilliant job of it so far. It doesn't bend or get out of straightness at all if I do that. Look at that, look. Straight as anything. Not a problem, Colin. Now what I'll do, obviously I'm going to draw it in on shape, once he's told me what he wants, and then I'll project it on here so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. Let me just wait for that lorry to go. Excellent. Because obviously it's quite good that being able to project the stuff is. So once I've got it drawn on, I can draw it on. And then also I need to decide where this beam that comes down here, because basically, obviously there's another RSJ got to go across here, right near the opening. And then once I know exactly where that is, then I can just cut out these and then slot it in, weld it all up. The process continues. It's a bit cut and paste now, really. This will be the last second channel video until there's a main channel video. Now the next main channel video won't be the next tunnel video, it'll be this project which I'm doing up at Tom's. Hopefully that will either be, not next week, it'll probably be the week after. So, interesting. If you imagine what happens if you cross a Weeble with a van. There you go. So that'll be the week after next. And then after that, it will be the main channel video of what we've been doing here. Now, I've tried to keep bits out of it, so there's things that we've done here which you haven't seen on these second channel videos, so it's not like a season review. It does feel like additional content, because that's the only problem with these videos, is I'm always worried that, you know, everyone's seen anything, so why watch the main channel video when you've watched all these? But anyway, I've done my best, so that's that. The last tunnel dirt jars got picked up about 2 hours ago. So they're all on the way to the warehouse. So if you've been patiently waiting for your tunnel dirt, you'll get them very soon. I do apologise. It took me a bit longer to do. I know everyone was saying, like, Colin, why don't you build a machine to fill the jars up? But getting rocks into jars, you have to jiggle them around and stuff like that. It's pretty complicated, but we've got it all sorted now. It's all done. Right. I think that's about it. subscribe, enjoy yourselves. Pray that the weather stays good. Yeah, right. I'm going to go and whack this on the edit, get it uploaded. See you at 4 o'clock. Excellent. Oh, look at it though. Let's have a little walk through though. Before we go, let's have a walk through. Oh, come right over here. Right, Colin, so look at this. Lovely big, and it's like, oh, I feel like going to my workshop. I've not turned the light on. Oh, this is just so awesome. So awesome. And then we're in the workshop. Yes! Beautiful. Oh, by the way, thanks to XL Tools for supplying this bad boy. They gave this to me nearly a year ago, and I haven't used it yet because obviously I don't need a mill for tunnelling. But it is lovely, and it will feature at some point. Anyway, shut up, Colin. Get on with it.